You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
On the road again, the Spartans of Webb will travel just a few miles down the road to face their arch rivals in the Christian Academy Warriors. Tonight, the Spartans won't have to travel far, just about a half mile down Dutchtown Road to meet their crosstown opponent. The Warriors come into tonight's game with a lot of enthusiasm, but so do the men in green. After playing in a tough tournament last weekend where the Spartans came away with 1 win and 1 loss, the loss coming against a very good Science Hill team, the Spartans look for revenge tonight, as it's going to be the C.A.K. Warriors and the Webb School Spartans. From the Christian Academy of Knoxville on the campus of C.A.K., it's time for Webb School basketball. You're watching Webb on the Web, the WOW Network, as we're bringing you Spartan Athletics live on the internet. I'm Andrew Robinson, and I'm going to be bringing you the play-by-play broadcast along with my partners James Moon and Alex Lansing to provide the color commentary analysis as the Webb School takes on the Christian Academy Warriors. This broadcast is being sponsored by Duo-Fast of Knoxville for all your nailing, stapling, and fastening needs. The Shrimp Dock, with its wide variety of fresh seafood made daily, all the yummy for the tummy. This is also being streamed live at www.wow-network.org. We welcome you to the Shrimp Dock Sideline Show. I'm going to welcome my partners James Moon and Alex Lansing. And fellas, big game on the docket tonight. The Spartans and the Warriors, as I mentioned, just not even a mile down the road, but a lot of passion involved in this rivalry.
Yeah, this is a big rivalry. Haven't played in recent years, but this year we're going to get to see the Warriors twice, here tonight and then again in January. Webb comes in on a 7-2 record and C.A.K. At 2-3. Now, both teams participated in the round ball in the Palace up in Johnson City over the weekend, and they actually got to play the same opponents. Both teams lost to Science Hill, but both teams were able to beat Cloudland. So these two teams have played pretty much the same against similar opponents, so we should be in store for a good ball game tonight.
Absolutely, James. You know, Alex, if we can just turn back the dime a few minutes, or a few days, it was McCauley that came into Webb. The Spartans were looking to maybe pull an upset, and an upset they did, scoring 80 points, or 60, and holding McCauley to under 25. Pretty good stuff from the men in green.
Absolutely. The Spartans truly looked like a state championship team last week. If they put on the same performance tonight against the Warriors, it's not even going to be a contest tonight, in my opinion.
You know, James, this Webb team is led by a few guys, but in particular the senior Burton Sampson. How much does he bring tonight in this rivalry?
I think Burton Sampson's going to be ready to play tonight. They're big up front. They got two of their big offensive linemen playing up front for them. One's committed to the University of Tennessee on a football scholarship. They're going to be big. It's going to be physical. Burton's going to have to play a great game if he wants to produce for the Webb offense tonight.
You know, Alex, you can't forget about the other guys as well. So you have guys like Justin Jenkins and Troy Whiteside, just sophomores coming into the system. Junior Austin Cox. This is a very deep team.
Absolutely. There's not enough that can be said about the talent and versatility of every single Spartan that's going to play in the court tonight. If they keep up their game and keep C.A.K. in the hustle, then Webb will emerge victorious tonight.
We're counting down the seconds to tip off here from Christian Academy in Knoxville. And, guys, I mean, we just can't hype this game enough. It's going to be a very good contest. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups, and it'll be time for tip-off here from C.A.K. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
We sell products basically to anybody that's putting wood together. That could be home builders, and in the construction market we sell lumberyard dealers like your 84 Lumbers, and locally here Christmas Lumber and others. We sell people that build pallets. We sell Sea Ray boats and a couple other boat building companies. We do business with Clayton Homes, which is manufactured housing. Our customers also build furniture, cabinets, and again, most anything wood to wood.
So tell your friends if they have any stapling or fastening needs, come down to Duo-Fast of Knoxville on Paper Mill Drive. Welcome back, y'all. See you soon at Duo Fest.
If you want to pass and run like the Spartans, then pass up the fast food and run into the shrimp docks, serving lunch daily from 11 to 3. With stores in Bearden and Farragut, you get your choice of the fish, oyster, or the famous shrimp po' boys. Also, grab some scallops, crab legs, lobster, oysters, shrimp, and the only fresh fish in K-Town to take home for dinner. So stay warm in the winter with Captain Paul's chowders and bisques, stay healthy and lower cholesterol with fresh fish, and enjoy at the Shrimp Dock.
Support for Webb and the WOW Network comes from University General Surgeons, Drs. Anderson, Daly, Nicholas, Taylor, Smith, Curick, and Tucker, specializing in routine and complex surgical cases at the UT Medical Center.
So welcome back, Spartan fans. We are here at C.A.K, just a few minutes down the road from the Webb School, but it will definitely be a very tough road challenge. These two ball squads come in, very impressive resumes, even though the Christian Academy Warriors faltering in the win column, they play a very tough schedule.
Yeah, and if you notice, Andrew, most of their losses came early in the season when their football team was on a similar path to a state championship like the Spartans. So obviously that had an effect. They're returning, like we were saying, Brett Kendrick, the 6'5 senior, University of Tennessee football commitment. That's going to have to provide some help down low for him.
Let's go directly into the starters for tonight's game, and let's start with the Spartans.
Yeah, for the Spartans, we got the typical starting lineup: Brandon Neighbors, Justin Jenkins, Troy Whiteside, Austin Cox, and Burton Sampson.
And for the Warriors, you have number 11, Lucas Campbell, guard. He's a sophomore. Number 23, Drew Homan, a junior. He's a forward. Number 30, Nick Campbell. He is a senior. Number 20, Dylan Keka, junior guard. And heading it up for the Christian Academy Warriors will be the junior, Oteria Lee, or like he likes to be called, O.
O's going to be the guy to watch tonight. He might be a little small. He's listed here at 5'9", but he's going to play his hardest game tonight.
We are about set for tip-off here from C.A.K. And like I mentioned, I'm Andrew Robinson alongside my partners, Alex Lansing and James Moon, as we are approaching tip-off very quickly. And there it goes. Burton Sampson and the Spartans will control the tip. And it's going to go to Troy Whiteside. Whiteside with the ball.
It looks like Webb has a play already set up here early.
Jenkins receives a screen from Cox. Cox now rolls. He'll fire to the right side. And Neighbors back to Jenkins, cross court. Whiteside in the corner. He'll drive inside to Cox. Dumps it back out to Burton Sampson. Webb swinging the ball around the perimeter here, and it's going to be back to the top of the key. Now Justin Jenkins. Skip pass to Whiteside. Jenkins tries to drive, nothing doing. Neighbors. Whiteside, a lot of shutdown D. Back out to Whiteside for three. No good to start the game, and a rebound by Drew Homan. Very quickly, the Warriors take it across the timeline, and O will set it up.
And Andrew, in my opinion, I think quickness is going to be a very important process in determining the winner of this game. Quickness and hustle, as Webb dominated McCauley last Friday with their quickness, their hustle, and their fast break points.
Lee with the ball. He's being double teamed. Webb in the 2-3 zone. Lee drives, fires a shot
over
off
the
his
back
foot and over the back foul.
It's going to be called on Drew Homan, the junior forward. And good call there by the referees, and the Spartans will control the basketball.
Webb with the ball back, and they couldn't get much doing on their opening possession. C.A.K. playing shutdown D.
As point guard Troy Whiteside carries it up, a little pressed by C.A.K., and him and Justin Jenkins are playing a little back and forth ball.
Whiteside
wide open,
Jenkins
Justin
for three. That's no good, but
good
a rebound. Burton Sampson
gets it back in.
Burton Sampson on the bucket.
The center of this Webb offense, absolutely phenomenal, getting second chance rebounds and putting them up for two.
C.A.K. trying to move the ball. Down
Off the
floor.
foot, Webb basketball.
And it's going to be off the foot of number 20, Dylan Keck, the junior. And Troy Whiteside will get the ball.
And Coach Norris singles in the play.
Jenkins to Neighbors. Gets a screen from Whiteside. They're going to call an illegal screen on number 14. That's Troy Whiteside, the sophomore.
You know, as we pointed out last game, the Spartans scoring 60 on the formidable opponent McCauley, and even then they were not shooting the ball well at all beyond the arc, which is usually a big part of the Spartans' game. You have to wonder, Andrew and James, do you think Ricky Norris is going to encourage the three-point shooting tonight?
We'll see. So far, it looks like it. Webb 0 for 2 from the line, from beyond the arc, and there's going to be a foul on Austin Cox as big number 23. That's Drew Homan. Gets fouled by Cox underneath. A little bit of confusion on the foul call. And here comes the big fella to the line for two shots. First one is up and rattles around and in. So Alex, it looks like they can exploit their size inside with Drew Homan, the big fella, number 23.
Absolutely. C.A.K. going to do a little run and pound offense, trying to get the ball down low and get the easy two. Spartans are more the pass and cut and screen and try to confuse the defense, get an easy bucket.
So he only makes one of two free throws, which means our score remains 2-1 in favor of the Spartans. 5:43 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and Coach Norris is yelling his players to be moving off ball. Seems like they're just kind of standing there.
A pass intended for Jenkins gets tipped around, and Webb retains possession. A double team on Sampson, and he'll dump it off to Cox in the short corner, and he will give it to Jenkins, who's going to reset.
Good job by Sampson to avoid that double team and pass the ball away.
Webb going to reset on the offensive end. Whiteside with the ball up top. He'll give it to Neighbors.
Seems to be a lot of confusion on the Webb offensive front. A little bit of it should be expected from these young starters. However, if they don't get this worked out quickly, C.A.K. might capitalize.
Jenkins with the ball on the left side, back to Whiteside. He'll try to drive inside. Puts up a runner in the lane, no
nice
good.
Rebound by
number 5, Austin Cox. The putback is no good. Ball being tipped around. Justin Jenkins gets it and puts it in for two.
It's those second chance points that the Spartans thrive on. That was a good play there by Troy. You need to penetrate and try to draw the defense in, look for the kicker as Troy did the shot.
And Big O.
And Troy Whiteside's going to be on him guarding. Look for him to have a good game defensively to be a key for Spartan's success tonight.
There's a deep three from Lee, and he ties up the ball game. James, that was a contested three. Just a good shot by Lee.
Yeah, he was giving him a little space, but he was able to make the shot.
So C.A.K. will tie the ball game up at 4 apiece with 4:14 to go in the first quarter. Neighbors with the ball up top to Jenkins. He's going to dump it off inside to Sampson. Makes a nice move in the post and puts it up and in. Wow. Burton Sampson.
Just using his size down low and gets the easy basket.
Great looking play right there.
C.A.K. moving the ball.
Webb's looking to have a kind of a slow pace to today's game, while C.A.K is trying to be a little more up-tempo on the offensive side. Let's see how that goes throughout the game.
Nick Campbell being pressured by Neighbors, and they're going to call a foul on number 2, the senior, Brandon Neighbors.
Yeah, and Coach Norris doesn't like that call.
And into the game now, number 33, Liam Willoughby, our first time seeing Liam this season. He played football, so he was a late starter, but into the ball game.
Yeah, he's going to provide some nice size down low for the Spartans, and he's coming in for choice, so Spartans look to go big here.
Lee tries to drive baseline again, puts it up, off the backboard, no good.
Ooh.
Ball being tipped around, and Liam Willoughby gets it.
The size already playing big dividends for the Spartans.
Webb pushes it quickly, and it's going to go out to Burton Sampson. Thinks about the 3, decides better of it, and to Neighbors, back to Jenkins. 3 minutes to go, 6-4, Webb on top.
Now, this is one of the few times this season that we've seen point guard Troy Whiteside come out of the game. It appears that both Neighbors and Jenkins are splitting the point guard position, but there is no true point guard in the game right now. As James said, they're
Burton
going
goes up, it's
big.
getting there. Oh, they're going to call it on the floor, it looks like.
And
Burton's saying he's getting just one. Okay.
Setting up the inbounds play here.
Yeah, it's going to be on the floor.
And with Webb's size, C.A.K will match. Coming into the game is number 34,
Kendrick.
Brett Kendrick, the forward, 6'5".
Yeah. We're going to see how that turns out down low. Let's see if he can shut down Burton.
They're going to get the ball into Sampson. Gives it to Neighbors.
Looks like they've gone to a zone here. Kendrick in a little 2-3 zone action. Kendrick playing the middle part.
AC delivers a nice bounce pass to Willoughby. He's trapped. Gives it back outside to Burton Sampson. Thinks about the 3 again. Nothing. Now he's going to drive inside into a triple team. He's going to draw the foul.
So Burton's drawn 2 fouls so far on this one possession.
And the foul goes.
So now Coach Norris is setting up his zone offense.
And it's going to go to Burton Sampson, who gives it back to Neighbors. He's open for 3 in the corner. Decides better.
He's got Justin over here towards us.
Burton Sampson fires a 3 that's covered. No good. And the rebound by number 20, Dylan Keck. And they'll give it to Lee, who crosses the timeline. Lee drives inside. And they're going to call a foul.
On Justin, but not a shooting foul. So we're going to inbounds down low.
Now what Ricky Norris is going to want the Webb Spartans to do in offense is they're going to try to take advantage of the zone, throw the skip pass, try to separate the defense, and then capitalize with an open shot.
Driving inside on Burton Sampson is Nick Campbell.
You can't give up those kind of shots if you're going big.
Campbell just takes Burton to the rack and dumps it in for 2. It's 6-6. 2 minutes to go. Very quick first quarter of play. It's Neighbors to Sampson, who dumps it off inside to Cox. He was open. Back to Neighbors. Inside to Willoughby. Loses control of the ball, regains possession. And Coach Norris calls out the play. And
yeah, he told Brandon to hold it up. He wanted to get a nice play in, have a nice under control possession here, and try to get some points.
Here comes Neighbors. Cox flashing the high post, won't get it to him. Now a skip pass to Jenkins, back to Neighbors. So Webb playing a lot of perimeter play to open this quarter, trying to find some open shots, but nothing doing.
Yeah, they're just letting the offense come to themselves. Obviously, C.A.K is playing the zone, which, they're going to call a foul there. But the zone is easier to shoot against than drive in.
And they're going to call a foul on number 5, Austin Cox.
Oh, wow.
And the difference between the two teams here is that the Spartans, while they do have some height, they really don't have any true center on the floor, whereas with Kendrick with the C.A.K Warriors, he's got probably 50 pounds on Burton Sampson, and they might try to utilize that down low.
Now, Troy Whiteside checked back in for Neighbors, and as Cox picked up his second foul, but it'll remain in the ballgame.
And Lee now trying to set up the Warriors offense with a chance
nice
to take
play
the
by
lead.
Liam.
Willoughby knocks the ball out of bounds.
Good-looking hustle play as number 1,
play.
Dean Minyard is going to check in the game for Cox, as James pointed out, has the 2 fouls. Dean, a first-year varsity member, but he's been playing well for the Spartans this season.
It's going to be Kendrick. He's trying to get inside on Willoughby. Lee kicks it back out to Campbell. Campbell drives now. Willoughby underneath.
Oh, they're going to call the block.
A blocking foul against.
Man, that's a tough call. Liam looked like he had position there. And
from
I
this
thought
angle,
he kept
it looked
his
good.
feet. But they're going to call it on Willoughby. That's going to be his first foul of the game. I'm sorry, his second foul. No, that's his first, team 6.
Misses the first free throw is Campbell.
As it appears in the early stage of this game, free throw shooting already playing a huge factor in the score. We'll see if that continues throughout the match.
Campbell's second free throw is up and good, so the Warriors now will have their first lead of the ball game.
Yep. As Drew Homan checks back in for the Warriors.
So now definitely size with Homan and Kendrick. Two guys that are 6'5" and 6'4".
Kevin Gormley will walk up to the scores table, get a shooter in the big play against that zone defense from C.A.K.
Demon Yard, open three for Justin Jenkins. He'll fire it. Good shot.
Great shot.
Justin Jenkins for 3.
Nice to see you guys shooting touch back from the last time we've seen him. If he's hot, then it means trouble for the Warriors.
Webb scores to improve their lead. 9-7 the score. We're under a minute now, 30 seconds to go. Lee trying to get work on Whiteside.
He's bobbing the ball.
Ball's on the ground, picked up by Jenkins, and they've got numbers. Jenkins takes it to the rack himself, and he's going to get fouled by number 34, Brett Kendrick.
Great looking play by Jenkins, forcing Kendricks to commit, and he made the contact, clearly a foul. Jenkins will go to the line, where he's a very consistent free throw shooter. Hopefully try to get the easy 2 for Webb.
And trying to prevent another foul, Ricky Norris is going to check in number 10. That's Chris Zion. Jenkins misses the front end.
As it appears the Spartans are opting to try to spread out the zone defense and the big man set that the Warriors are going with, instead of bringing in someone like maybe Cole Sams, a new-coming football player, just to get some size in the game.
Yeah, both big guys are coming out to give them a little breather so they'll be ready to go for the second quarter.
So Jenkins hits the second free throw. We're down to 20 seconds. This is probably going to be the last possession.
I want to see who's guarding
game.
Kendrick. It looks like it's going to be Justin. That's about a 4-inch size difference.
Spartans going insanely small right now.
A jump shot fadeaway over Demon Yard. Chase Kearney. Jenkins going to quickly control it. 2 seconds, fires a 3, way off the mark and no good. At the end of the first quarter, Webb holds a 1-point advantage. They lead C.A.K. 10-9. We'll be right back. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
Hey, after a Spartan touchdown, why don't you touch down at your local shrimp dock? With locations in Bearden and Farragut, the Shrimp Dock is owned and operated by Webb parents and is the place to get your shrimp, scallops, and the only place in Knoxville to get fresh fish. So come on into the Shrimp Dock. Tell them Boomer sent you and enjoy the freshest seafood in town.
Welcome back, Spartan fans, to the Lee Athletic, or excuse me, not the Lee Athletic Center. It feels like we're at home just a few minutes down the road.
Especially with the students here. But we're just about a 20-minute walk down the road, not even.
Absolutely. And James, you point out something very interesting at the break, and I think everybody needs to hear that.
Yeah, as far as have scored 10 points and obviously have the 1-point lead, but only 2 players have scored for the Spartans tonight, and that's Burton with 4 and Justin with 5. So let's see if any of the other support players will have more of a bigger role on the offensive side.
We will see as we are ready for second quarter action.
And the starters are in except for Cox. He's going to sit with 2 fouls, and Miniard's going to be in for him.
C.A.K. is continuing to go big, keeping both Kendricks and Homan into the game. Massive 5-4 front for them as Spartans check in Burton, but other than that, they don't have any serious height on the floor, with both Willoughby and Sam sitting.
Justin left his man to go for the loose ball.
For Dylan Keck. He was wide open because, just like he said, Justin Jenkins had to go help as Whiteside was still on the floor.
This is too good of a team to leave open shooters.
Jenkins to Whiteside. Again, Webb played in the perimeter game. Whiteside tries to draw something inside. It's going to be a blocking foul against
calling it a little
Keck.
strict this game.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get the charge so far. That could have gone either way, like the one down that we had down here called against the Spartans. Both teams are approaching the bonus. Webb with 16 fouls and C.A.K. with now 5.
C.A.K. opting to remain in the zone as Sampson sets up a three-pointer, misses off the mark, and Hohen comes up with the rebound, kicks it out to Lee.
And Lee now drives, gives it back again to Keck. And this is going to be a three by Kearney. That's off the mark and rebound by Minyard. Good rebound as he fighting with Kendrick underneath. Now Webb pushes it. Whiteside wide open to the rack. He missed it. Burton Sampson gets the rebound and the putback is good.
Another second-hand rebound by Sampson. Neither team today, in my opinion, has had the best of shot selection. Both of them are obviously amped up. This is a rivalry, as we mentioned. But you have to remain composed and have to find the right shot, even if it means passing up an open one.
Lee now and C.A.K. doing kind of what Webb's doing, trying to look inside by playing outside. And good help by Gormley.
Great defense there by Kevin Gormley and Dean Minyard.
Minyard controls down the floor. Gormley loses it. Lee tries to get the steal, kick out to Jenkins. He's open for three. He'll fire it again. Off the iron, no good. Tipped around and rebounded by Gormley. He gets under and gets swatted. And Webb still with the ball. Back to Sampson. Sampson makes a nice head fake, goes to the short corner, and he'll miss it. Still on the ground and finally controlled by Kearney.
Yeah, that was a good move by Sampson. You'd like to see some points out of that, but
absolutely.
Here comes Lee. Kearney thought about the three. Pump fakes, drives inside. And
nice!
He's rejected by Justin Jenkins.
Good clean block and good penetration by Kearney on the other end, though.
And
an even better pass. Oh, and the putback.
Whiteside misses the layup, but the putback by Jenkins. So Webb still looking for that third score. We're going to timeout on the floor with a 14-12 lead.
Yeah, so obviously the C.A.K. coach wants to talk to his players, maybe play a little bit better on it defensively. Let's see if they stay with the zone or maybe go to a little more man-to-man. But obviously the Spartans, seems like C.A.K. might have watched the Macaulay game film and saw the Spartan shovels from shooting outside and obviously think that the zone defense is the best way to play against this offense.
Absolutely, but you also have to give to the Spartans credit. Their second chance points off of rebounds and their fast break opportunities, turning them into buckets, have not left, have been there this game as they have for the entire season. And if they keep that up, C.A.K. is going to have to find an answer. They're going to have to find it quickly.
C.A.K. now going to inbound the ball, only down by 2 points. It's been a very close basketball game so far, and we look for that to continue. It's going to be Lee, still guarded by Whiteside out front. Lee dumps it off to Homan a little.
Let's look at this matchup down low. So you have Minyard on Kendricks.
And Lee drives inside, no good, and a rebound by Burton Sampson.
Justin's open on the fast break. Burton's going to keep it.
Webb going to push it to Whiteside underneath.
Nice.
And a nice
Beautiful looking
layup
finish.
on fast break. Alex, just like you said, Webb on fast break, and now the other end. Here comes Lee and the Warriors.
Absolutely. Lee's a talented player, but sometimes in that situation, he needs to see the floor and see this matchup he has down low with this big man, Kendricks. He's got to feed the big guy.
It's going to be a skip pass
wide open
to Lee. Three is off the mark. And rebound by Burton Sampson. Webb still trying to push the tempo here. Jenkins to Sampson. He'll swing it to Whiteside into the corner for Gormley. And he'll think better of that three and dump it back out to Whiteside, where Webb will reset with 4:47. They lead 16-12.
So again, Webb slowing down the offense.
Gormley to Jenkins out front. He'll try to get a screen from Whiteside. He will kick out to Sampson. And again, Webb resorts to the pass around the arc inside to Minyard. Back out to Jenkins. He'll drive underneath the Gormley. He's blocked again by the big
Great ball
man.
movement, though.
Absolutely. It was a block shot, but that was a great opportunity. Great ball movement. C.A.K. staying in the zone, and Webb is so far appearing to be tearing it up.
Yeah, and they've been able to penetrate that zone so far tonight.
Inbounds play coming for the Spartans. Jenkins throws the outlet pass to Whiteside, and he's going to set up the offense. 4:15 to go now. It's going to go to Gormley on the right side. Over to Jenkins now.
Looks like they're looking for Gormley down in the corner.
Dean trying to flash the high post. Can't get it to him, to Sampson. Double teamed is Burton. And they'll get it back to Sampson. Now he's going to drive inside, put up a shot over Kendrick, and that's hard to do considering he's 6'5".
They were looking for Sampson to come around a curl screen from Gormley, but something went wrong there. And
Fast break opportunity.
Here comes Jenkins, who dumps off Sampson. He'll just pull up from about the free throw line, in and out. And it's going to be a foul against number 3, Justin Jenkins.
That's his second.
Man, Burton's going to want that one back.
Number 13, Burton Sampson.
Sorry, Burton.
That was a 2-on-1 fast break, and he pulled up on that.
Yeah, and Coach Norris wanted a better look there out of his senior forward.
So at the line now for the Warriors is Nick Campbell. They are in the bonus. And the front end of the 1-and-1 is good to make this a one-possession game. And there's the second free throw. It's good. It's now 16-14.
Changing up, it looks like they're going with a set formation, trying to get a set shot, most definitely probably from Sampson.
Skip pass over to Mignard. He'll drive inside. Good ball movement.
Great drive by
one,
Dean.
And then Dean Mignard takes it to the rack and puts it in. 18-14.
Yeah, that was just a great move by Dean. He picks up his first basket of the ball game.
And they're going to call.
It's going to be an off-ball foul, and that's going to be on called against C.A.K.
And into the game now for the Spartans is going to come Liam.
And that's going to be on O.
And out comes Kevin Gormley.
And again, Will be coming back in, give the Spartans some more size. And Burton's been in the whole game except for that last 24 seconds in the first quarter. And he's having a great game so far.
Absolutely, just showing that senior leadership at its best.
On the other hand, we haven't seen Cox or Neighbors so far this quarter due to foul trouble. You wonder when he's going to put them back in.
Sampson in the deep corner. They get it out. Webb still trying to penetrate this 2-3 zone. C.A.K. running it very well, preventing a lot of outside shots and getting into the high post. It's going to be Sampson on the left side to Jenkins. Inside to Mignard. He'll try to get something out of it, and he just ran to a brick wall.
Coach Norris wants a skip pass, but Burton was wide open.
And underneath, ball tipped away by Kendrick, but he had Sampson cut it.
He had nice cut by Sampson. The pass just didn't get there.
Should have been a bounce pass, as Coach Norris pointed out to Liam, but that's still, regardless, a good no-look pass and a good play.
Great defense by Dean against the big guy in Kendrick.
Kendrick tried to use his body as a shield, couldn't do so. Nice pass by Whiteside to Willoughby.
And
underneath, gets the basket and one.
Great finish by Willoughby, and on the other end, that was the first time tonight we've seen C.A.K. try to utilize his Kendrick's body size and height. Mignard gets the best of them there, and a great pump fake finish by Willoughby for the and one opportunity.
And into the game now for the Warriors is Chase Kearney, number 5, the three-point threat. Kearney just a freshman. Willoughby's free throw rattles in and out, and it's going to remain 20-14 as we take under 2 minutes and a half. Webb still in this man defense, and James, it's working very well for them.
Yeah, it's been working great, and Troy's been able to shut down. Oh, with this nice play by Burton, but C.A.K. controls the ball.
Still battling for the rebound. Underneath, it's Kendrick. Ball still up in the air, and the basket is good.
And one.
Nick Campbell underneath manages to get past 2 Spartans and get the rebound.
Yeah, that's huge right there. The Spartans had a 6-point lead, and with that, the Warriors can cut it down to 3.
Sampson's hustle play ironically ended in both him and Jenkins out of position, thinking they had a fast break opportunity, and resulted in this and one.
And Campbell is pure from the line.
Down to 3.
It's a one-possession game now with 1:40 to go. 20-17 our score. Mignard swings it to Jenkins. Now to Sampson, top of the key. He'll try to drive inside, and a good bounce pass to Willoughby, who kicks it back out to Justin Jenkins.
As the tempos in this game for Webb, they tend to like to slow it down, spread C.A.K. and try to find a perfect shot. C.A.K. tends to push it more and try to use their size and down low as Jenkins with an air ball three-pointer. It's been a little cold shooting-wise since that first 3, but he's proved himself throughout his basketball career. And I've got no doubt in my mind that he will redeem himself and he'll continue to shooting and the shots will fall for him.
Absolutely. He is a definite talent for this Spartans team. We're down to a minute to go. And Nick Campbell tries to tie the game up. Misses off the front of the rim. And
good rebound by Dean.
Dean pushes it for the Spartans to Sampson in transition. Now to Jenkins, who kicks out to Whiteside. He's wide open for three, fires it way off the mark. No good. Rebound by Wilby underneath and kicks it back out to Justin Jenkins. So a good rebound by Liam Wilby. No look pass. Skip pass to Sampson for three. Off the mark. No good. Tipped around. And now the C.A.K. Warriors with it.
Yeah, and Dino must have the offensive rebound on the other side.
He's had some fantastic hustle plays this first half, and he's even scored himself a few points.
C.A.K. now with the ball. And the Warriors get it stolen away. Lee with it now, 11 seconds to go. He'll cross the timeline. He'll have to do something quick. Tries to drive, puts up a floater in the lane, no good, and a rebound by Liam Wilby.
3 seconds.
2 seconds. Whiteside launches. He probably didn't have to
He could have held on to that a little bit longer, but as far as we'll go into the half, up by 3.
Up by 3 is the score, 20-17. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, it'll be halftime analysis, and then second half coming to you live. You have got a good one on the hands, folks. 20-17 your score. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
I'm here at the Tool Department at W.O.W. Fast in Knoxville. Tool service is one of the many reasons people come to W.O.W. Fast. Don't let the name fool you. We service all forms of pneumatic tools. W.O.W. Fast in Knoxville. Nailers, staplers, fasteners. W.O.W. Fast in Knoxville, a proud supporter of the WOW Network.
Support for Webb and the WOW Network comes from University General Surgeons, Drs. Anderson, Daly, Nicklaus, Taylor, Smith, Curick, and Tucker, specializing in routine and complex surgical cases at the UT Medical Center.
If you want to pass and run like the Spartans, then pass up the fast food and run into the shrimp docks, serving lunch daily from 11 to 3. With stores in Bearden and Farragut, you get your choice of the fish, oyster, or the famous shrimp po' boys. Also, grab some scallops, crab legs, lobster, oysters, shrimp, and the only fresh fish in K-Town to take home for dinner. So stay warm in the winter with Captain Paul's chowders and bisques, stay healthy and lower cholesterol with fresh fish, and enjoy at the Shrimp Dock.
Back up and slide in tight. All right, ready?
Welcome to the Shrimp Dock Sideline Show here at halftime. And, guys, we have got an absolute great game on our hands. James, let me start with you. C.A.K. came out in that 2-3 zone. They stayed in it the whole half. At times it looked a little defective. Webb penetrated. At others it was very effective, mainly in that first quarter.
Yeah, the zones have been able to work, sort of. The Spartans haven't been really able to make any shots. Justin has just one three-pointer. But on the flip side, the Spartans have been able to penetrate that zone. So let's see if the Warriors try to go to a more man-to-man to prevent the penetration down low.
Man-to-man is what the Spartans have been running, Alex. They've been running it very well, only giving up 17 points to this very good C.A.K. team. And you have to credit a lot of that to the hustle and effort of the guys going up against guys like Kendrick, Dean Minyard, and Liam Willoughby, and Burton Sampson.
Absolutely. Great effort, great hustle by everyone on the Spartans so far tonight. The man-to-man proved to be a lot more consistent, as we mentioned, the zone having its up and downs and being a little bit rocky for the Warriors to start this game. They're going to have to find a cure to that if they want to contest the Spartans towards the end.
And James, let's go to scoring totals real quick. Not many guys in the first quarter scored. In the second, a few more, but what are they?
Well, Whiteside has 2, Willoughby has 2, Minyard has 2, Burton has 6, and Justin leads all scores with 8 points. But Whiteside only has 2 points, but he's playing great defense on O. Williams, has held him to just 1 3-pointer, and so far he's playing great job on defense.
Absolutely. And, Alex, Dean Minyard only with 2 points, but he's trying to flash that high post, and trying to get it there, but a lot of times this C.A.K. man-to-man or this zone is preventing that past the high post.
Absolutely, and Mignard's going to have to do a better job of flashing the high post and catch and release. He's going to have to shorten his time there, not put the ball on the floor, really spread the ball around, force C.A.K. to spread out, and then capitalize on the open space.
Absolutely, and James on offense, if you had any advice to Spartans, what would it be?
Well, I think to keep on doing what they're doing, but the one thing the Spartans have done a great job of tonight is second chance baskets. They've controlled the offensive glass, and they're putting the ball back up for points.
Absolutely. That is your Shrimp Talk halftime show. When we come back, it will be time for second half coverage here on the WOW Network. Listen to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network. Back, Spartan fans. Second half coverage here on the WOW Network, and Webb will get the ball to start. And into the game now are Neighbors and Cox. Didn't play a single second of that second quarter. Inside to Burton Sampson, a nice feed. No good. Sampson gets his rebound 2 or 3 times.
Second chance points not working there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, one thing to notice though, last week Coach Norris did not have the opportunity, did not have the availability to sit 2 guys like Cox and Neighbors on the bench for so long, but now with the additions of Willoughby and other players, now he has a little more flexibility.
That's a great point. Their depth has increased tremendously, and I'm looking forward to see how the Spartans come out this half with both Neighbors and Cox back in the game. Their offense is going to be at its strongest, no doubt.
Cox now with the ball in the high post, drives inside, a good move, and misses the shot. Good defense there by Drew Homan, and it's going to be the Warriors pushing in transition with Lucas Campbell. C.A.K. with a chance to make it a 1-point game, and they will do just that on Campbell's jumper from the free throw line.
Spartans staying in the man defense, in spite of both Neighbors and Cox's foul trouble. They're going to have to play a little bit more conservative if they want to stay in the game and be a factor here towards the end.
Neighbors now with the ball. He'll get it to Jenkins. Tries to find Sampson inside in a very bad pass, and now C.A.K. with a chance to take a 1 or 2 point lead.
Yeah, the Spartans need to stop these mistakes, and they could let C.A.K. back into the ballgame with a made basket here.
It was a bad pass, but for the first time tonight, it looks like the Warriors are out in a man defense. First time the Spartans have seen that. They're going to have to adjust their offensive scheme towards it.
Lee, Big O trying to set it up for C.A.K. He'll drive to the right and dump it off to Keck. And a nice backdoor cut. Missed the shot, gets his rebound and puts it up.
Nice rebound.
That's Campbell, missed his free throw and then misses the second chance.
Spartans got lucky there. That was a wide open look.
Jenkins now drives on Keck.
That was a block.
And Jenkins puts up the jumper, no good. Cox fights for the rebound, still fighting in a jump ball. Now they're going to call a hold. And a foul on Austin Cox. That's his 3rd foul.
Yeah.
Questionable series.
And Austin Cox is not, just by his facial reaction there, did not think he fouled there. And he'll come out with 3 fouls now for the junior.
I think he has the right cause right there. That didn't look anything resembling a foul from our point of view.
Yeah.
And so Lee now with the ball. He's going to try to set this Warrior offense up with another chance to take the lead here. Keck working on Jenkins. Drives inside, and he traveled.
Yep. So actually, they're going to call a foul. It's like, no, sorry, that's a travel.
Some mental mistakes plaguing both teams so far early in this 3rd quarter. It might have to come down to which team can make the least.
Back into the 2-3 zone go the Warriors. And Webb still trying to penetrate That zone can't do it right there, and Sampson now skip passes to Jenkins. Burton cuts the lane, nothing doing. Back out front to Jenkins, now the white side.
So Warriors back in the zone. I don't know if I misread the defense or if they're changing every few possessions.
Troy Whiteside drives inside, misses it, but a good rebound by Liam Willoughby. And a foul underneath on number
I don't know who they're going to call that.
Yeah.
Actually, they're going to call that on 11.
Or 11, excuse me.
Campbell. There were 3 C.A.K. defenders there, and through the foul, Willoughby was able to get the offensive rebound.
And as James, you mentioned last week, if AC had gotten in foul trouble, they would have been sending either Gormley or Minyard into the game. Now they've got the good fortune of being able to send someone like Willoughby into the game to help the Spartans offensively and defensively.
Well, and just not just that, they also have more flexibility. They can go Willoughby with size, Gormley for shooting, Minyard for a little bit of both. So it's a nice problem to have.
That's a good point. Webb staying versatile.
Whiteside outside for 3. Inside now to Liam Willoughby. He'll pump fake, skip pass to Jenkins. He's open for 3, fires off the mark, no good, and a rebound by number 30, Nick Campbell, and here come the Warriors.
Yeah, and here comes Minyard, going to come back up to the scores table.
Lee pushing it. Fires over to the corner. Number 20, Dylan Keck for 3. And now C.A.K. with a 2-point lead.
For Coach Norris, this is not how you wanted the Spartans come out to start the second half.
Sampson underneath.
And he gets the
foul.
foul.
At the free throw line, fires and he gets fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2 shots with a chance to tie this game back up at 22.
Yeah, the Spartans just look flat so far in this first 3 minutes of the almost 4 minutes of this third quarter, and let's see if Sampson can make a couple free throws and get the Spartans back into the ball game.
Dean Minyard's about to check in.
And the free throw by Sampson is up and good, so Minyard comes in. Willoughby comes out.
James, as you mentioned, either Ricky Norris needs to talk to Willoughby about his play, or he's just looking for a better shooter in the game, trying to mix and match of some lineups. Sampson hits the second one from the line.
So 2 for 2 goes Sampson, and we're back all square, 22 apiece. Webb, a little bit of a press, not much, and C.A.K. will break it with ease.
Yeah, Webb's not really playing their high-pressure, high-tempo defense tonight. They're kind of laying back and letting the game come to them on defense.
Here comes Lee. He'll drive inside and a nice dump off.
Nice.
It's going to be stolen by Sampson. Webb with a 2-on-1. It's going to go to Neighbors.
Neighbors
back to Sampson. And
beautiful. He could have dunked it if he wanted. It was there.
What a wonderful little underhand flip from from Neighbors to Sampson. The C.A.K. defender was expecting and anticipating a charge from Neighbors, and great control of the body and great handling.
5 seconds.
And it's over the back. He's crossed his foot across the timeline, and Webb, with that great pressure, gets the ball back.
Yeah, and he's getting close to the 5-second call.
Good heads up.
3.5.
Good heads up play by Webb, trapping the big guy when he gets the ball in the middle of the court.
And it looks like Webb's going to call a quick 30-second timeout. Coach Norris is going to want to get a nice play set up here, so the Spartans can increase their lead to 4 or maybe even 5.
So Webb with a 2-point advantage here on the road at C.A.K. and playing their hearts out so far. A little sloppy to open up this quarter or this half of play, but it is good seeing Neighbors and Cox back into the ball game.
Yeah, and they're playing better so far and even in the last 30, 45 seconds, they're playing a lot better here.
24-22 the score here from C.A.K. Webb going to break it down. Cox back on the bench with 3 fouls. We'll see when Ricky Norris will decide to put him into the ball game.
Yeah, look for him to come back in probably at the beginning of the 4th and play a little more conservatively. He was playing like he had no fouls to begin the half, and obviously he was trying to make a good hustle play, and it just a call that could go either way, and unfortunately went against Spartans and AC, and he's on the bench with 3 fouls.
Webb now trying to work into the zone, but will settle for an outside shot if given. It's going to go to Neighbors. Neighbors tries to feed him in yard, nothing doing. Now it goes to Dean. Back to Neighbors. Quickly to the corner to Whiteside, skip past Jenkins. And he's going to use his body and quickness.
Nice move.
And a good move on Campbell. Jenkins with the basket, 26-22.
Spartans initiating a press coverage here, and it works as C.A.K. turns the ball over, and Webb with some momentum building up now will take the ball back again.
Whiteside now with it. Webb with a chance to further their lead. 26-22 the score. Whiteside dumps it in the middle to Jenkins. Jenkins goes up, contested 2, no good. Tipped around and finally rebounded by Brett Kendrick.
Yeah, that was a tough shot there. Nice move by Jenkins and just doesn't get the bounce.
One of the great things about the Webb offense is there's not a person on the court who can't shoot from any range on the court.
Now they're going to call a foul on the floor, and that's going to be on Minyard, his first.
So Dean Minyard commits the foul on Kendrick. Kendrick gets right around Minyard, and it's going to be on the floor. So Webb back into the defense. C.A.K. tries to get something going. It's going to go to Lee. Lee with the ball on the right side, gets a screen. And a pass out of bounds. Good. Double team and then help. Pass goes out
I don't
of
know
bounds.
where that pass is going.
Pass from O skips out of bounds, and it's going to be Webb basketball. 26-22. 2:25 to go in this third quarter. Inside to Jenkins. Jenkins takes it to the rack again, goes up and gets fouled.
No one came up to pressure Jenkins, and he just took the opportunity to capitalize, took one dribble, floated it up and in. Easy 2.
Justin Jenkins. How many is that, James? Is that 10 for him?
That's 12.
12 for Justin.
He'll go to the line and have a chance to make it 13.
Number 3, Jenkins. Free throw is up, and it will rattle in. And with that, Justin Jenkins will come out into the game as number 10, Chris Zion, the freshman.
Yeah, he's going to get, Coach Norris is going to get Justin a little break. He's been in there for a while.
Well-deserved break. He's been playing great tonight.
And Liam was going to the scores table, then Coach Norris called him back and chose to go with Chris to guard. And Spartans get a little small here.
And a double team on Lee over in the corner. They're going to call it timeout.
Great pressure by the Spartans. C.A.K. needs to find an answer to this press if they want to remain competitive.
So timeout on the court. We're going to take one as well. With 2:06 to go, it's Webb 29, C.A.K. 22. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
We sell products basically to anybody that's putting wood together. That could be home builders, and in the construction market we sell lumberyard dealers like your 84 Lumbers, and locally here Christmas Lumber and others. We sell people that build pallets. We sell Sea Ray boats and a couple other boat building.
Golly. C.A.K. with the ball, trying to get some openings in this Webb man-to-man defense. They have not been able to all night, in a deep, deep three from number 20, Dylan Keck, and the putback is good by number 34.
Yeah, Kendrick's showing off a little bit there.
Looks like what Coach Norris is trying to do is he's trying to drop down the backside defender, in that case Minyard, and trying to get a sort of crude double team on Kendricks. Kendricks just using his size and taking out Willoughby. There's not a whole lot you can do there. That was a good play.
And the free throw is up and good. And Whiteside with it now for the Spartans. Skip pass to Sampson for 3. Got it. Burton Sampson fires from the corner to make this a 7-point game, 32-25.
When your center's hitting three-pointers, you're looking good offensively.
And that's the nicest thing. Spartans can always rely on Burton from the outside.
Keck tries to drive inside, nothing doing. He'll dump it off to home and inside, and a good shot by Kendrick.
Yeah, Coach Norris is yelling at Liam to try to take a charge, and he could very easily have done that.
And that's what he should have done. Willoughby's not going to outpower Kendricks down low. He's going to need to outsmart him with the charge.
Whiteside skip pass again to Sampson. Nothing doing this time.
He's got Troy over here if he can get a skip pass.
Trapped. Gets the ball out, goes to Whiteside. Whiteside drives, puts up a runner in the lane, off the glass, no good.
Very finesse take into the basket, but just not able to finish.
Lee going to slow it down for the C.A.K. offense. That's something we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to hold on to the ball and get the last shot.
And
30 seconds.
Coach Norris calling off the pressure, going to try to keep him in and prevent the easy 2. If C.A.K. is going to score, he's going to make him shoot it.
So watch for C.A.K. to start running their play once the clock gets about 15. It's at 18 right now. And Now the clock's at 15 seconds.
So we'll start to see something here for the
Yeah,
Warriors.
they're moving
You
around
gotta
off
wonder
ball.
if Lee's going to take it.
Pass inside.
Stolen.
Away. And Webb now with a chance with 5 seconds. They're going to get it to
4,
mid-yard.
3,
Inside
2.
goes up, and he's going to be fouled. So
Nice
a chance,
take by Dean.
Great take by
chance
Dean.
at the line.
But an even better defensive play and take by Brandon Neighbors as he read the down low feed, intercepted it, carried, and gave a great dish to Minyard, who went up strong and picked up the foul.
Foul is on number 3, Lee. And Minyard a chance now with 1.7 seconds to improve Webb's lead. He'll miss the first free throw. It's at 5 right now, 32-27. And with limited time, not wanting to pick up a really stupid foul, Coach Norris will send in Zion
And just to give
for Whiteside. Absolutely, give him that last.
Start of the fourth quarter.
1.7, Minyard makes the second.
As he's sending Jenkins back in just for some even more athleticism from the Spartans. They're going to try to prevent the long pass and catch and shoot.
And here comes a deep,
They'll take
almost
that.
from the opposite free throw line from Keck. It's up and no good. And with that, that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. At the end of 3, it's Webb 33, C.A.K. 27. When we come back, Webb fourth quarter coverage. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
If you want to pass and run like the Spartans, then pass up the fast food and run into the shrimp docks, serving lunch daily from 11 to 3. With stores in Bearden and Farragut, you get your choice of the fish, oyster, or the famous shrimp po' boys. Also, grab some scallops, crab legs, lobster, oysters, shrimp, and the only fresh fish in K-Town to take home for dinner. So stay warm in the winter with Captain Paul's chowders and bisques, stay healthy and lower cholesterol with fresh fish, and enjoy at the Shrimp Dock.
Welcome back, Spartan fans, to C.A.K. 33-27 at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Cox has checked back in with 3 fouls, and let's see how he plays.
You might as well play him at this point. If he commits one, you got to take him out, but give him a chance here. Lee, a deep 3.
Yeah, you have to keep Cox ready in the game.
Good,
he can
but
shoot
the
at any
offensive
time.
rebound. Campbell gets it.
Man, they had C.A.K. where they want him. That was a bad-looking shot with no rebounders, but Webb gave up the offensive board, and C.A.K. took a turn at getting a second chance point off a rebound.
Cox now skip past the Neighbors, looking for something. Cox now going to cut the baseline. There's nobody over. Now AC will get it. Again, just keep on swinging around the three-point arc, looking for something. Back to Jenkins, top of the key. Inside of Minyard. Back Neighbors. He's open, doesn't take it, drives inside, puts
Nice
it off
move.
the glass and
Oh,
good.
beautiful. That was a great finesse touch by Neighbors right off the glass and in.
Here comes Lee trying to work on Neighbors, and good stop by Neighbors, and it's going to come back out to Kearney. 35-29 our score. Campbell with it. Back to Lee.
Ooh, nice play
Ball
by
on the
Brandon.
ground. And they're going to call a
Ooh.
foul on the floor.
It's going to be on Justin. That's his second. So, other than Cox, the Spartans have been able to stay out of foul trouble for the most part. Justin now has 2, but everybody else just has 1 foul.
So with that, the Warriors take a timeout. 6:37 to go. It's going to be a full timeout here. 35-29 our score. We'll be right back. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
Hey Spartan fans, I'm Kenzie here at W.O.W of Knoxville for all your nailing, stapling, and fastening needs. I'm here with Butch Johnson from W.O.W of Knoxville. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, Kenzie, we're an industrial distributor. We've been in business since 1955. We specialize in nailing and stapling tools, and of course the staples and nails that go in them. We have this location. We have a location.
I bet you that he's not playing, so he can be going and working out with people. And when I talked to his dad like 2 weeks ago, he says
Welcome back, Spartan fans. You're listening to Webb on the Webb, the WOW Network. Currently, it's Spartans 35, Warriors 29 as C.A.K. inbounds it from down below.
and it's going to be Lee now. Still working for something. And a pass inside, intercepted.
Great read by Sampson.
By Burton Sampson, and he's going to slow it up now and look for a shot here on the offensive end.
No need to rush here for the Spartans on offense.
Inside to Cox. He's got the lane into the mid-yard. Fights for it. Kick out Jenkins for three. That ball had a lot of air under it. No good, but Cox gets the rebound. Couldn't get the rebound. Couldn't get it.
And then they're going to foul on that's his third.
Jenkins thinking about his shot too much tonight. Made one. He's airballed two.
You know, the great thing about this Webb team is that if someone's struggling from foul-wise or just having a bad game, there's always some newcomer just going to come in and step up and pick up the slack, and it's like they were never missed in the first place.
And so here come the Warriors on the offensive end. C.A.K. with a chance here to get right back in the ball game. They currently trail by 6, 35-29. Lee guarded tightly out front by Neighbors, now loosening up. Lee gets a screen now from Campbell.
C.A.K. trying to get a set player.
And a three from Lee off the mark, no good. Rebound by Campbell. Or not Campbell, excuse me. That's going to be Keck. Goes up, and then Campbell finishes.
Yeah, Coach Norris is not happy with the Spartan defense.
Not at all.
That.
I wouldn't be either. That's their third or fourth second chance opportunity, and Webb's letting them back into the game by not rebounding the first time.
Kick out to Neighbors now. 35-31. 4-point ball game here from C.A.K. Sampson open for three. In and out, but a good rebound by Mignard. Put back off the glass. No good. And a foul on Austin Cox. That's his fourth. Willoughby or Whiteside going to come in. And that's not good, guys. You need a shooter like AC in this type of game. C.A.K. still gnawing and clawing to get back in this thing.
And you have to wonder what time Norris might just send him back in and hope for the best.
Well, I think with Cox being such a good shooter for the Spartans, you got to save him, have him on your bench in case you need to get a spot three somewhere.
Absolutely. And it's going to be Kearney. Kearney now with it. The freshman dumps it off. Good pump fake. Back to Kearney. And Kearney open for three. He'll fire it. Way off the mark, no good. Rebound by Whiteside. Webb trying to run. You can hear Coach Norris yelling it.
Yep.
Now we're going to settle it down. Back to Whiteside. Him and Neighbors playing a little pass here. Jenkins drives inside. Nice dump off to Burton Sampson. Underneath, and he's fouled by number 30, Nick Campbell. So Campbell fouls Sampson, and Burton with a chance to go to the line. Make this a possible 6-point game.
Yeah, these are very crucial free throws for the Spartans.
Sampson makes the first free throw, and now the second coming.
At a crucial time in the game, I don't think Coach Norris would rather have anyone on the line besides Sampson.
And Sampson makes the second free throw. 37-31 our score. 4:28 to go, so plenty of time for C.A.K. Only down by 6 points, but they need to start scoring and getting some stops here.
Coach Norris instituting the press again. Now they're going to have to fall back and stay up.
Campbell dumps it off. Back to Campbell and a kick out to the big fella, number 34, Kendrick. He was open for three, but maybe that might be planned. Don't let him inside. Let him take the outside shot. Here comes O. Lee. It's going to be Kearney.
Yeah, O's coming around the baseline on the loop.
Intercepted by Jenkins, and a good takeaway there. Goes to the basket, and he's going to be fouled by Chase Kearney, just the freshman, number 5.
Good read by Jenkins and a good take.
So Justin Jenkins will go to the line.
He'll shoot two. Coach Norris talking to his sophomore point guard.
Jenkins misses it off the back iron, no good.
You have to give the Spartans credit this game from going to a press, fast break, staying in man the entire game. Their stamina and their hustle is not slowed down one bit.
Jenkins now at the line for his second attempt. This one, much like the first, rattles in and out.
You would like to get those 2 points there and extend your lead.
37-31, an open three from the corner.
Short.
And it was short by Lucas Campbell, and then a rebound by the Spartans. Webb pushing it again on the offensive side. Jenkins drives to the basket and looking for Sampson, and the ball goes back to C.A.K. So only 3:38 remaining. C.A.K. getting some breaks here.
They
definitely
are. Webb could definitely have a 10-point lead right now, but they are keeping them in the ball game.
These are some critical possessions as they hit the back door.
Oh, they're going to call a reach on Troy. I don't know about that one.
Good job by Webb seeing that backdoor pass just before it was too late and swarming him. They picked up the foul,
but now
that's better than the easy two.
Yeah, Webb's into the bonus, so C.A.K. will be shooting one-on-one from here out.
So the Warriors at the line, exactly what they want. Chance to score with the clock stopped. And at the line is the sophomore Lucas Campbell. Campbell's first free throw is up, no good. They're fighting for the rebounds mid-yard. And Dean Minyard, a good rebound there.
Yeah, great job by Dean. He's having a great night off the bench, getting rebounds, picking up 4 points so far. 3 points.
As Coach Norris telling Whiteside to walk it up, slow the pace down a little bit. They're going to try to eat as much clock as they can for C.A.K. to score quickly.
It's going to be Whiteside up top. Webb, 3 guards. Sampson down low. And then Minyard, the high post. Now him and Sampson will switch. Trying to feed it to Burton Sampson. 4 guys out front. They're going to get it to Dean. Trying to feed inside to Burton. Nothing doing. Webb again trying to find some inside. A lot of time being wasted on this possession. Good for the Spartans. Bad for the Warriors.
Nice
and a good cut by
Whiteside.
Looks for Sampson. Throws it away.
Man, that's just an example of
they're going to call that tipped. It was tipped off the C.A.K. defender, and Webb will control the basketball.
Fortunate break. That right there was an example of Whiteside catching it, already having a notion of what he was going to do. Instead of taking the layup, he went for the extra pass. Spartans get lucky with the tipped ball as C.A.K. has amped their defense up 100%. And now they're pressing every single man, every single ball.
Yeah. Good. C.A.K. had a good defense on the inbounds pass, and Coach Norris not wanting to risk the 5-second call. Calls the timeout, and he's going to take a full timeout. So we'll take one as well. We'll be right back with 2:38 left to play here at C.A.K. Webb leads 37-31.
You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network, Spartan Athletics on the Internet.
If you want to pass and run like the Spartans, then pass up the fast food and run into the shrimp docks, serving lunch daily from 11 to 3. With stores in Bearden and Farragut, you get your choice of the fish, oyster, or the famous
Welcome back, Spartan fans. 2:38 to go. 37-31 our score. Webb with the basketball underneath.
Yeah, and Coach Norris during the break was telling his team to look for layups. They're going to move the ball around with some screens and take the high percentage shots.
He's going to try to force C.A.K. to get a turnover here. Then they're going to look for, as you said, James, the easy layup.
So now Webb just trying to waste this clock, 37-31, and that's going to be a foul on number 34, Brett Kendrick.
That's fine. Well, we'll take that all day. There's no one on the floor right now who Coach Norris wouldn't trust shooting free throws.
And at
here
the line,
comes Austin Cox to the scores table, and he's going to come in with 4 fouls, get the shooter in the ball game. But Dean Minyard has played a great game.
Absolutely good stuff.
Great hustle by Dean. You have to wonder if he told Cox to be extremely conservative on defense or if he just told him to play his game and put some trust in him.
And a big free throw there by Justin Jenkins takes this to a 3-possession game. 38-31. Now his second free throw. on the way. It's good. So 39-31, an 8-point advantage, and Webb back on defense. Lee.
Whiteside so far has done a great job throughout the entire game, shutting the lead down completely.
And rebounding underneath, getting his own rebound.
Kendrick's just too big. Kendrick. Great double move by the big man on that, getting his own rebound, going up with the clutch and put in.
Under 2 minutes, 6-point game, 39-33, Spartans in front.
And Coach Norris trying to get the ball up to AC. If they're going to foul anyone, they're going to want to foul him. AC with a mismatch, bring Kendrick out wide.
And a good pass to Neighbors underneath, and he'll just take it back out. And the Spartans just wasting time, it seems like here.
It's important to control the ball here, get a high percentage shot, and they're going to get the foul.
Jenkins underneath, 3 men around him, and he draws the foul.
And that's exactly what Coach Norris wanted.
Absolutely great job by Jenkins and the entire Spartan offense on maintaining the dribble and not picking it up.
Jenkins now at the line with a chance to really make C.A.K. start sweating here. And he misses the free throw.
The front end. We have 2 shots now, as that was a shooting foul.
Still a 6-point advantage.
Yeah, you'd really like to get this free throw right here to make it a 3-possession ball game.
Webb's played well tonight, but they're going to have to finish from the line if they want to come away with a victory.
There goes Jenkins. That one didn't even move the net.
Nope.
40-33, a 7-point game for the Spartans. Lee going to drive on Whiteside, and where's that been all night?
I don't know.
Just takes Whiteside to the basket.
Good point. Just as I compliment Troy. Oh, it wasn't bad defense. It was a great move. It was more of a good move by Lee with a crossover hesitation. He just took it straight to the hoop.
Yeah, Coach Norris is not happy with that, but C.A.K. is going to take the full timeout. We'll take a quick one. We'll be right back. You're listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network.
If you want to pass and run like the Spartans, then pass up the fast food and run into the shrimp docks, serving lunch daily from 11 to 3. With stores in Bearden and Farragut, you get your choice of the fish, oyster, or the famous shrimp po' boys. Also, grab some scallops, crab legs, lobster, oysters, shrimp, and the only fresh fish in K-Town to take home for dinner. So stay warm in the winter with Captain Paul's chowders and bisques, stay healthy and lower cholesterol with fresh fish, and enjoy at the shrimp dock.
For Justin as a primary option, then slip to Burton, and if not, they'll throw to Troy as a safety.
So welcome back, Spartan fans. Webb to inbound it underneath their own, or underneath the opposing goal, and the pass goes off.
That's exactly what Coach Norris was stressing to his team, not to turn over the ball. And Webb does it right there.
They executed greatly, threw to Jenkins, their primary option.
Now C.A.K. has the opportunity to make it a 2 or 3-point game, and they could be right back in here.
Plenty of time left.
Yes, 124.
C.A.K. putting in the big man for the shooter, so it looks like they're going to try to get it down low, if anything.
No, block.
Shot, Lee, bad shot, and it's blocked by Whiteside.
Great redemption by Troy.
Watch for the Spartans slow down the ball, find the high percentage shot, and C.A.K. is going to foul 1-1, Justin going to the line.
That was a risk. You never want to pick up the ball in the double team. Fortunately, he got the foul call there.
That foul is going to go against number 20, Dylan Keck. Here comes Jenkins to the line. Made 1 of his 2 on the last attempt, and he makes the front end of the 1-and-1.
Great job sticking to the fundamentals, especially when you're tired.
Let's see if Justin can make this free throw to make it a 3-possession game.
Big free throw upcoming for Justin Jenkins. And he missed that one short. Ball tipped around and controlled by C.A.K.
Almost gets his own rebound.
The Warriors staying in it, 6-point game, 41-35. Lee tries to drive inside, and it's going to be a foul on number 14, Troy Whiteside.
Yeah, and another thing Coach Norris stressed in the last timeout, not to foul. Do not let him get a scoring opportunity with the stop.
He is livid, putting C.A.K., one of C.A.K.'s best shooters on the line with a stopped clock.
Yeah, he's rightfully so, getting a little nervous here.
And here comes O. You can hear it from the student section. Lee's first free throw is good. That's what Webb cannot afford to do. If you give C.A.K. baskets, make sure the clock is running.
I mean, they're going to have the opportunity to get it back down to a 4-point game with a minute left. Plenty of time.
And the second free throw is no good, but
offensive
an offensive
rebound.
and underneath.
Shooting foul.
Stepped on the baseline.
That's Austin Cox. That's his 5th.
He stepped on the baseline.
Oh
wow, I got lucky.
Fortunate call. That was a foul.
Yeah.
Cox looking for somebody, and he'll get it to Burton on the slip.
Full court press.
Sampson now, and if you have to foul somebody, then you don't want it to be Sampson.
He's getting trapped double team over to Neighbors, and Coach Norris calls the timeout.
Good call. That was approaching the 10 seconds.
Yeah, he wanted Troy or somebody just to be on the offensive side, ready to get the ball over the timeline.
Yeah, no one came back to help Burton there. He had three guys within his vicinity. There's got to be someone open. You have to flash and help out here.
And Webb is going to take another 60-second timeout. And
41 to 36.
Yeah.
What a basketball game. 49
Absolutely.
seconds left. Plenty of time for the Warriors, but you got to get something going quick. You got to get a turnover or a stop.
And you know, throughout the season for the Spartans, especially this year, one of the maybe not as tangible elements to their success has got to be what we're staring at right now, and that is the student section, as they are absolutely on fire tonight, as they have been throughout the entire season. It's always nice to feel like you're in a home-like atmosphere on the road.
Absolutely. At least just have some presence of mind, and they definitely have that here.
Yeah, Coach Norris here talking to his team, trying to get a nice inbounds play here. Spartans do have one timeout left, so if they're not able to inbound, they'll be able to call one. And Webb gets the ball in easily.
Sampson now.
He gets it across the timeline.
Across the timeline. C.A.K's got to start fouling here.
Yep.
We're down to 38 seconds and they're going to foul Cox. And he's a good free throw shooter, guys.
I don't know why the C.A.K. coach was yelling for the foul unless he was just feeling that they were using up too much clock, because AC is definitely one of the better free throw shooters on the Spartans.
Yeah, at that point you just have to stop the clock. And that's going to be number 20, Dylan Keck's 5th foul of the game. And so Kendrick will sub back in for the Warriors.
Austin Cox at the line. Big free throws upcoming for AC. Sinks the first one.
And Cox gets his first point of the ball game, as he's been spending most of the time on the bench with in foul trouble.
And a big free throw here, and he sinks it. It's a 7-point ball game with 38 seconds
Great
left.
composure by Cox in a pressure situation.
43-36. Here come the Warriors. They'll take it across the timeline, and it's going to be Lee trying to work on Whiteside again. Good-looking shot. Can't get it. They're going to foul Burton Sampson.
Burton's going to have a chance to make it a 7 or 8 point ball game. And really, this game's been kind of set at the 6-point mark. Webb has not been able to get up by 6, and let's see what Burton can do here.
You saw the fist pump by Coach Norris there.
As
Coach saw that Sampson was fouled. Very, very, very good free throw shooter.
As Coach Norris sending ace Austin Cox all the way back to the other basket and going to keep him out of any contact possibilities to avoid the 5th foul. And doesn't look like he's putting any rebounders in there, as he's making defense a priority over rebounding at the moment.
Sampson's free throw is good. 44-36 the score. Here comes Lee taking it across the timeline. 15 seconds to go. Kearney does not take the 3, takes the easy 2 instead. We're down to 10 seconds. 44-38. And Webb will inbound it, and watch the seconds tick away. C.A.K. will see the Spartans one more time this season, but on the road, Webb comes to C.A.K.'s house and gets the W. The final score, Webb 44, C.A.K. 38. And with that, we're going to move quickly into the Shrimp Talk postgame show. And guys, unbelievable stuff. Alex, I'm going to start with you. Webb just controlled the tempo this whole game, whether they wanted it fast or slow. The tempo of this game was determined by what the Spartans did.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. And controlling the tempo means you're, in a sense, controlling the aspects of the game, both offensive and defensively. And the Spartans doing a great job of executing on both ends of the floor. and all around having the hustle plays and having the and avoiding complacency and being able to come out victorious.
James, you have the scoring totals. If you run through those.
I do have the scoring totals. With 2 points, Troy Whiteside, Brandon Neighbors had 2. Austin Cox, who stayed in foul trouble, was able to remain in the game, had 2. Liam Willoughby had 2. Dean Miniard, playing great defense off the bench, had 3 points. And the 2 scoring leaders, Burton Sampson with 16 and Justin Jenkins with 17.
Burton and Justin definitely gave their all for the Spartans today, offensively and defensively. James, both those guys forced a lot of turnovers on the defensive side.
Yeah, they did. Webb it wasn't as high pressure in their defense as they were when we saw them last against McCauley. They let the game kind of come to them on the defensive side, but they played really well, holding C.A.K. to. They took the scoreboard down, so I don't have their score right now. 38 points, and just a great job on the defensive side of the ball.
Alex, anything to say about that?
It was a great game by the Spartans. You have to look at those 4 points from Austin Cox, usually one of their highest scores, and you have to look at it in a glass half full situation for the Spartans, as even though he only got 4 points tonight due to foul trouble, they were still able to have others like Justin and Burton control the team, people like Dean Minyard with the hustle plays, and all around Spartans able to pick up the lost slack from Cox's foul trouble and pull out with the victory, so that speaks good for the entire team as a whole.
A big win on the road for the Spartans here tonight at C.A.K, and just a quick glance at the schedules for both teams. For C.A.K, we'll start off, they play Cleveland on the 15th, which will be Friday, and then over the weekend, they'll take a break until Christmas time, and then right after Christmas they'll play in the Super 16 at Bearden. It's going to be a great tournament there. And for the Spartans, DCA comes in on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go, let's do the player of the game, our WOW player of the game. Each of you gets a choice. We'll start with you, Alex. Who is?
I think the physical presence and the physical player of the game, you're going to have to give it to Justin Jenkins from what you saw from the crowd. But in my opinion, I'm going to give it to Dean Minyard and his hustle plays and the plays he made behind the scenes and how he made this offense and this defense run smoothly, and I'm going to give it to him for his behind the scene hustle plays.
James?
Yeah, Dean played great. Justin had a great game, leading the team with 17 points. I'm going to say Burton Sampson. We talked about a key early to the game would be how Burton would play against these big guys, Kendrick being 6'5", Homan being 6'4", obviously very big, and Burton had no trouble, was able to score 16 points, and stayed out of foul trouble. Only had 1 foul. Usually you see guys when they're being a little oversized, pick up some cheap fouls, but Burton was able to avoid that tonight. One thing, as we look on the DCA next on Friday, DCA is the team that beat Webb in the state semifinals last year. These Spartans will be looking for revenge as they open up district play from the Lee Athletic Center.
It's going to be a heck of a ball game. We hope that you will join us on this Friday night, or this upcoming Friday, and then it will be to exams and Christmas break. It's going to be a long weekend, guys, but we are prepared. Just a quick note. It will not be until the 18th of January when these two teams square off again, but it will be from the Lee Athletic Center. We'll see if the Warriors can draw even with the Spartans. For all of our broadcasters, guys and girls games, Alex Lansing, our tech crew, Samuel and Kelsey Copeland, of course, Doug Bright, James Moon, I'm Andrew Robinson. The Spartans get a victory here at C.A.K. 46-38. You've been listening to Webb on the Web, the WOW Network, and until next time, dream of Spartan victory.